Welcome back to an episode of Exploring Whiskeys. I'm Eric.
I'm Kevin. Today we have, you might not be able to find this whiskey. This is the Boulder American Single Malt, finished in American oak. But this is not the label that they use any longer. This is not the proof that they release it any longer.
So we should open this.
Yeah, we're going to, but that's just how that works. I had not heard of Boulder before we went to the Whisky Live event.
I'd heard of them, but I'd never had anything from there.
Okay.
But they were one of my favorites there.
Yeah, it was a great lineup. They have...
And they talked to us for a while.
A long time. So they have two different bourbons. They had a regular bourbon and a bottled and bond bourbon?
I think so.
I think. And then they had a whole bunch of American single malts. And which was kind of a theme there. There it is. Damn it. Stupid plastic. Anyway, they had a bunch of different single malts there. So they had this American single malt. They had a peated. They had a sherried. They had like different finishes and things like that. All right, I'll get to that later.
Oh, we sampled them all.
And yeah, we did. If you go back and watch our Whisky Live video, we're talking to Alastair Brogan. So that's the guy who started it. He went from Scotland, moved to Colorado, I don't know, about a dozen years ago. 10 to a dozen, somewhere in that range. And I'm not sure what they mean by this, but he brought the still with him. Not really sure how you bring a 1,000-gallon copper pot still with you. I don't understand that.
Cargo ship.
Maybe. But he brought it with us, and apparently is still the largest still in the state of Colorado.
We need to hit them up because they also invited us out there.
Yeah, about 10-ish years ago, they started up Boulder, and they do, like I said, a couple bourbons, but they really do a lot of the single malts. So this is their American single malt. This is finished in a new white oak, just like a normal, like a bourbon, and most whiskeys in America are. It's 94 proof. 84 proof. The newer ones are, I think, are 92.
Okay.
And you'll see in the newer ones, like it's two circles, like this is how the label looks. Looks like more like two coins or something like that. So it's a totally different label. So
I think their label is fine.
yeah, it's fine, but it's totally different now.
Is that just bigger?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's kind of cool too, though.
Yeah. I don't know what it represents or whatever, but handcrafted. It's a really kind of, their whole story is really cool. How they do what they do with their whiskeys and their finishes and things like that. Very, very cool. This is 1.5 year aged and really small casks.
Yeah.
Which will accelerate it a touch, but it's still 1.5 year.
Are they like kind of like Balcones, a cigar cask?
I don't know if it's extra long. Outside of that, there's not a lot of information on their website, especially about this particular one, because they don't make that label anymore at all.
Berry sweet, like tart berry sweet.
I get that. Because at first I was going to be like, wow, there's not much there, but...
It's tart.
Yeah, like a tart, yes, tart fruit note.
Ooh, they hit me like right here.
It's almost like a fruity bourbon. Like you get some of the wood notes from it, but there's more of a fruit than...
I got like almost a peach,
Okay.
apricot initially. That kind of hit me.
That apricot. I was at first I was like, but it's not Balcones apricot.
But then I was like, I almost got like in the middle, almost smoky.
Smoky.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I got a smoky. The nose, I get a little bit more like it's not chocolate. I don't want to say chocolate, but I want to say like a toasted malt, like a toasted cereal note or a toasted bread note. I kind of get that note with a little bit of some kind of fruit note.
I mean, going back to it after having a sip, it's not as tart. It's more sweet now.
Ooh. The second sip, there's a lot more like wood tannin notes, almost like a little peppery note, but very like wood tannin note. Tastes young. I mean, it comes off a little like not fully developed yet.
A lot of wood.
Yes.
A lot of wood.
Those must be really small casks. A lot of 5-gallon casks sitting there.
But I still think it's pretty good.
It's not bad. It's just
I wouldn't have guessed.
It wasn't what I was thinking.
I wouldn't have guessed it was less than 2 years aged.
okay.
We've had stuff that's less than 2 years aged, and you can tell.
Oh yeah.
A lot of them you can tell immediately just from the nose. Mm-hmm. And a lot of times the color.
Yeah, this has definitely got some color. Yeah, I mean the wood impact is obviously pretty material for the color.
I drink way more than you did.
I'm not sure what's going. So
I know.
you can put a little more. That's fine.
On your plastic cap.
Yeah, I don't know. Just rip it off. You do that. I'll do this.
Just a little touch.
Splash. All right. This I'm kind of thinking. I'm hoping, like the sweeter fruit notes pop a little bit. I mean, that's kind of what I like of American single malts, is the fact that there's like these fruit notes that pop out the way that some scotches do, like some Highland scotches, that you don't get from a bourbon. A lot of times that's sugary, not fruity. So I'm kind of just, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping there's just a little bit of a fruit sweetness that pops into this.
Nose is muted now.
Yeah.
Very muted. Like I know, again, the tartness went away after the first sip.
Yeah, no, I'm not getting that tart at all.
Or I'm getting sweet.
There's some sweet notes, sweet fruit notes.
But it's really, you got to stick your nose in there.
Yeah. Oh, you're all the way in there. It's only 84 proof, man. That's why I mean the newer release at 92 makes way more sense.
Well, but if I remember correctly, talking to them, like they're constantly experimenting. Like
You remember talking to them? That's awesome.
That was one of the last booths I remember talking to. I know we were there for a while.
Yes, we were there for
Like after that, we left and got a burger, but that was one of the last booths we went to.
Yeah. Yes, it was. That's actually a nicer palate. That works out. That works out a lot. Mm-hmm. That starts to round out the palate. Now there's a sweet note. There's a lot of good things that are popping out of there, which makes me think that their actual like the newer release with the new label and all that kind of stuff, probably at 92 proof. Maybe it's a little bit older. It's definitely on the right path. Mm-hmm. I just think this must have been just like what was the other one that we did? The Blum Brothers, where it was like their first release of that whiskey, and it
Blum Brothers,
Blum Brothers, and they were just like, they even commented on the episode like, yeah, that was a little young. Try the newer stuff, and we haven't gotten to that yet. But
I think it's maybe the same with the Revival. We had the entry level, but they have 2 other bottles.
Yeah,
but they're pretty proud of their product because it's not cheap.
But for them, I know a lot of their other single malt were really good, but none of them had that label. I have no idea.
No, that was one of my favorites. But yeah, I remember these guys. I remember this one was really good. I remember just staying there. I was like, ooh, I want to make. I want to taste them all.
I know. Yeah, definitely did the bourbons. I remember doing the peated malt one. I remember doing that. I think I remember doing the sherry one. And we actually have another bottle that we're going to be reviewing soon that has the new label on it. And I want to say that's port finished.
I think so.
I think it's port finished. So we will get to that. And I think that's also like 114 proof. Yeah. So everything about that conversation made me question what was going on with this, with the fact that it was only 94 or 84 proof. Because I was like, hey, he kept talking about higher proof and not like the other reason he was actually, the conversation was with him. One of the other reasons why they proof it down to 80 is the whole VAT tax system. They get taxed more on the proof, the higher the proof. So they proof it down to 80 because it doesn't cost them as much. That's part of the reason why I left and went to Colorado. But I don't. This one's. It's just funny. Now I want to find the newer version of the older.
AB.
Yes, exactly.
Well, we know Cork Dorks has it.
Yeah,
more than likely.
Yeah,
because they were the sponsor
of Whisky Live. Yeah,
which was really nice. That Whisky Live you're able to purchase, and same with the going to the Bardstown one. But again, they had a number of samples for us to try, and we tried them all.
We did.
Had a great conversation with the whole team there.
Yep.
Next time I'm out in Colorado, I'd love to stop in and actually see everything there. Probably remember me, but I'll do my best.
You can pull up the video of
right.
when the camera starts slowly
when I submit my receipts
around.
for reimbursement for the trip out there to the salesman.
When the camera slowly starts just spinning around in a circle because I'm not paying attention to it. But
no, those guys took a
long time. Good conversation
to really give us the background and all that. So I really enjoyed that booth. And anxious to see what else comes out. So, well, if you're out in the Boulder area, definitely poke your head in there. If your local liquor store has the Boulder lineup, I don't think you'd be disappointed with anything.
No.
I mean, this one was 60-ish.
Yeah.
So you're going to have to pay a little bit for it, but I don't think you're going to be disappointed.
That's single malt, though. I think that's part of it. It's more expensive to do malt than corn.
But I don't think you'd be disappointed. Solid distillery, solid guys that are running it.
Absolutely.
Definitely check it out. So hope you enjoyed the review. If you've got a favorite one, let us know.
Yeah.
I'm sure there's some other ones that they didn't bring to what we were at. Let us know what your favorite is. We'd love to
hunt it
down, track it down, and do it on the show. But again, as always, hope you enjoyed the review. If you did, hit that like button at the bottom of the screen.
While you're down there, subscribe. We're trying to grow the channel, and we would totally appreciate your support there. And again, to Eric's point, leave us a note. Love to hear from you.
Yep, absolutely. Thanks for watching.
See you on the next episode.
Cheers.